Today we're going to be talking about cargo. So the last time we mentioned cargo, we said cargo is a build tool and a package manager for Rust. So with cargo, we are able to create new projects in Rust, build them, run them, publish them, and manage them. The last time we created a project, we had to work on EX01 Hello Rust, and what we did was we had to create a folder, which is what you're seeing here, and we had to create the file for it in VS Code. And also when we had to run this, we had to use the rusty command, which is the Rust compiler. However, from here, we're no longer going to follow this method. We'll be using the cargo tool to create our projects, to build and to run them. So that said, let's go ahead. What I'll be doing is opening my terminal here, which for Windows we have PowerShell, for Linux we're going to have a terminal, same for macOS. And I'll be running cargo to see the various commands that we have in cargo. So if we see here, we have various flags, but what we're going to be looking at right now is the common cargo commands. We have the build, which we use to compile the current package, check to analyze the current package and report errors, clean, dog, new. So for new, we see that we can create a new cargo package, which actually stands for a cargo project or a Rust project. We also have init, which creates a new cargo package in an existing directory. Now the commands we're going to be using here are new and init. I'll be showing you how to create a new project using cargo, and I'll be showing you how to initialize cargo in an existing directory. We'll be seeing these further commands as we keep working with cargo. So just going to leave this open over here. And the next thing I'll be running is cargo new. After this, we need to provide the name of the package, which is EX02 Hello Cargo. So it says here created binary application EX02 Hello Cargo. And if we go back to our file manager, we'll see that a new folder has been created here, EX02 Hello Cargo. In this, we have a Git folder provided to us, a source folder, Git ignore, and cargo file. So let's just open this again in terminal, and what we'll be doing is opening this with VS Code. Alright, so now the project open in VS Code, we see over here the various items that we have in our package. Like I mentioned, you have the source folder, which has our main.rs file, which we had to create manually before. If you look below that, we have a target folder, and I'll be explaining this later on. We also have a git ignore file provided to us, which is actually a file we use to ignore various files in our directory when we're working with Git repositories, which is not going to be something we'll talk about now. But if you want to learn more about Git, please send an email to me and I'm going to provide you details or resources you can use to learn. Also, we have a cargo.toml file, which is some sort of a description of our package and the various dependencies we have. It also may include information about the developer and other things we need for the project. So we see here that we have a description of our package, which has the name, the version, and the edition. Also, we have dependencies here which none have been provided. We will provide various package names below here, and they are available in the package repository for cargo. All of them are going to be produced or provided for us when we are building our cargo application. If you've used Node before, you may have noticed that you have a package.json file and a package.log.json file. So that's what cargo.log here stands for, and it's automatically generated by cargo, so we're not going to concern ourselves with the details of this right now. So with our project created in cargo, we see that we can easily generate a new project using cargo instead of manually creating the files all the time. That said, we're going to be going to the next thing. The next thing on our list was on looking at the init command for cargo. And what it does is it creates a new cargo package in an existing directory. So what we'll simply do is go back to the EX1 Hello Rust folder, and what we're going to do is initialize cargo in this. So I assume that we no longer really need these files anymore. We're just going to allow them as they are, and open this in terminal. And all we need to run is cargo init. The same message is given to us as we had here. Created binary application package. Now if we get back to this folder, we'll see that a .git file has been provided with a .git init ignore, cargo, and the main file. Now if we open, sorry, the main file was actually the one we created the last time. If we open this in VS Code once more, we'll see that these same files are provided here, but this time the source folder was not provided to us because it's assumed by cargo that we already had source code in this directory before trying to initialize it. So no longer need to concern ourselves, or cargo no longer needs to concern ourselves with the source folders. All you just need to do is provide us what is going to be necessary for considering this as a cargo project. So if we want to rearrange this, we can now create a source folder to contain all our source code, and we can move. Oh, that was a mistake. And we can move our source code into it. Now that we have successfully created an application using cargo, we can now go into running it. So we'll just close this for now and get back to the exercise we created. Alright. So if we look at the initial PowerShell we opened, we see that there are other commands we can use for cargo. The first we saw was build. And what it does is it compiles the current project. So right now we're going to try to compile this project we created. So when I open in terminal, what I need to run is cargo build, and it compiles the entire source code, provides any log details on whatever happened, and it shows me finished target in 1.54 seconds. So you see here that targets have been mentioned here. Whenever we run the cargo build command, what happens is our entire source code is compiled and stored in the target folder. This folder is what we're going to is where cargo decides to store all of what we have been building throughout the application. And then the next command we can look at right now is run. And what it does is it runs the binary or example of the local package. Whenever we run cargo, or whenever we run the command cargo run in a directory which was built with cargo, what it does is it just runs the application we have there. So if we press enter on cargo run, you see here that hello world is printed out, which is exactly what our main function does. So we have successfully created a new package using cargo, we've built it, and we've run it. Now this is mostly the cycle we are going to have with cargo. However, I'd like to say that even without running the cargo build command, running this is going to be enough for building and running your application. So you do not necessarily need to run build before you run. So what you can do here is delete this folder to show an example of this. And we just do a cargo run. We see that the application is compiled before it's run. That said, we're going to end this exercise for now. So far what we have learned through this video is we've been able to create, we've been able to initialize, build, and run cargo applications. The other commands that are available here for cargo, which are testing, bench, update, search, publish, install, and uninstall. We'll be looking at this in the preceding videos. So next up, we're going to be taking a quick look at Git. So according to Google, Git is a free and open source software for distributed version control, tracking changes in any set of files, usually used for coordinating work among programmers collaboratively developing source code. So it was developed by, or the original author is Linus Torvalds, and the developers are Junior Hamano and others. So Git has been there since 2005, and it's actually a very popular version control system. If you want to learn about Git, you could either use the documentation or you could just do a quick Google search for Git tutorials. Now there are various YouTube tutorials you could follow, or you could use books on PDF drive or wherever you could get resources for Git. If you have difficulty getting this, you could just let me know. At the same time, we're going to have a quick glance at GitHub to see where we are storing the source code for this course. So under my account on GitHub, we have a repository here that stores all of the source code for what we are doing for this course, and I would strongly advise that if you have no GitHub account, then you should create one, and if you do have one, then you could work on this with Git2 and GitHub. So for every exercise that we work on, you could maybe create a repository where you'll be storing these exercises, and you could upload this repository on GitHub. So if we go to my repositories, there's going to be one repository that has everything to do with programming with Rust. And we open to this, we're going to see that there are already the two exercises we've worked on, which are the exercise 1 on Hello Rust and exercise 2 on Hello Cargo. So what you could do is you could continue from where we are right now. You could start all over and just create a Git repository for every course or every video we're working on, or you could just do for the entire course. You create a Git repository on GitHub and upload your repository, which is locally stored on your machine, to what we have on GitHub. That way you could have a track on everything you're doing, so in case of any loss, or in case you want to collaborate with anyone, you want to just share your progress, you could just get that which you have on GitHub. So that's it. We'll be concluding this video, getting some good knowledge on Cargo and a little bit of Git and GitHub. Thank you very much, guys. See you in the next.